explained some of the previous lesson, I can do that. Okay. All right. Today we're going to do one topic, really, is a segment called median. Okay. So when we think of a median of a triangle, we think that it's a segment that goes from the vertex to the midpoint of the opposite side. Okay. So let's say here's a triangle ABC. We want to draw the median from A to BC. Okay, so on BC, so we want to locate on BC, what would be the midpoint of that? What does midpoint mean? It's like the halfway point. Okay, now you don't have to get a. No. It's going to be over a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to draw. I'll put a point here. You can get a ruler out and actually measure it. I don't need you to do that. Just try to like eyeball it here. Now, how do you show that it's a midpoint? You want to mark the two segments congruent to each other. So you want to show that these two parts are the same measure. That will tell us that that's a midpoint. Okay, now we just want to connect A to that point. You just literally connect. So it goes from A to the midpoint of the opposite side. So this here.
Wait, do you have to put those like the legs?
You have to mark this.
Wow.
Yes.
What are those?
Okay, it's to show that it's the same, so that we know that this is. Okay, we need these to show that it's a midpoint.
The midpoint is the dot, though.
The dot. But how do we know it's a midpoint? By the little, we call them tick marks, to show that they're the same. Okay, now we want to draw from B to AC.
Is it two lines on that?
Okay, so now AC, or CA, where would the midpoint go? It would be about here. So I'm going to put a point here, and then again, I have to put the little...
And then connect the dot to B.
Yeah, and then I want to connect the dot to B.
I have a question. Are we going to have would you give us stuff like this, like to draw?
Just to draw it. On the homework for tonight, I'm going to give you two triangles, and you're going to draw two medians. Okay? Good. All right. Okay. Draw a median from S to the opposite side. Okay, so what side is opposite S? TR. Okay, so on TR, I want to show a midpoint. So I'm going to mark these two segments congruent. Okay, it's... Are we all right? But wait, we're not... All we need to do is draw it. Oh. We're not there yet. There.
They equal the same.
That's all you have to do. This is all you have to do here. Okay? Okay, good. All right. AD is a median of triangle ABC. Find the value of X. So, perfect. If this is a median, we know 3x plus 7 has to equal 5x minus 23. And we're just finding the value of x, so I'll subtract 3x from both sides.
So when they're both congruent, it means that they're congruent to each other?
Yep.
Because they have like the same value, basically.
Yeah.
You divide by 4.
Good. So I'm going to subtract 3x from both sides. Add 23. Then I'm going to divide by 2. Okay, what's 30 divided by 2, though? 15? Good. Questions? All right.
Do you mind like pausing for a second?
I can pause for a second.
X equals 5.
Or pressing the pause.
Well, the recording is still going, so.
Okay, I did not press pause on the recording, so.
By the way, we're taking turns to it.
All right, you want to help me out on the next one?
Of course. Actually, I'm good. I'll just like listen.
Okay, median means this has to be a midpoint, which makes BD congruent to DC. What do you do when they're congruent? You make them equal to each other. So I have 4x plus 9 equals 7x minus 6. Oops. So we'll subtract 4x. So we get 3x on the right side. Add 6. So we get 15. Good. So 15 equals 3x. Divide both sides by 3. Good. X equals 5. Okay. Now, what was the key word with median? It goes to the midpoint. Midpoint. So think median, midpoint. Okay. It's been a long time since we've seen this formula, but it is something. This is midpoint. Okay. Okay, midpoint. Think of it's the average of two numbers. So how do you average two numbers? You add them and divide by 2. So if I said like you have a 90% on one test and an 80% on the other, you would find the average.
Is that a plus?
Well, no, because it's a point. How do you write an ordered pair? A point has an x coordinate and a y coordinate. Okay, it's just an ordered pair. Okay, so I'm just gonna add. No, look, everything goes in parentheses. It's x1 plus x2. So what's x1? Negative 4 plus 9 over 2, comma. Yeah, how much notes did you take? Okay, great. You can show me later. All right, and then what do we have in the next part? Comma, 5 plus 11 divided by 2. So you need the comma there. Okay, it's not a plus sign in between. It's a comma. Okay, negative 4 plus 9 gives us 5.
So you get 2 fractions, isn't it?
Yeah, and that's okay. So I get 5 over 2. I don't need to write that as a decimal. I don't have to write 2.5. You could just...
You have to like simplify it.
16 over 2 comes out to be 8.
And that's your answer.
That's our answer.
So just simplify it by like before writing it.
You want to simplify it.
Oh wow.
Okay. This time I have 1/3 plus a negative 2/3 divided by 2. And I have a 1/6 plus a negative 5/6 also divided by 2. So if you remember, we did some complex fractions a while back. And the reason is you need to be able to find midpoint when there's fractions involved. Okay, now this next one, I conveniently gave you numbers that already had the same denominator.
Thank you.
Thank God.
Okay, this one, donut.
Will
Okay?
it always be like this or no?
No. Okay, what do I get in the numerator? Well, what's
Negative 1/3.
negative 1/3 over 2?
Oh.
Wait,
Okay.
why is it negative 1/3?
Because it's 1 minus 2.
1/3 minus 2/3. Right?
Wait, can we just put that in the calculator when we're doing it? Like,
Well, yeah, but you need to show the steps for it. Okay, what about this
yeah,
one?
but if we show it the way you just did, is that
Yeah, you can use your cat, but I just need to see the steps for it. What's 1/6 plus
Oh, wait,
9? Negative 4 over 6. Okay. Now, I have a fraction divided by 2. If you remember, when we do this, I'm going to have negative 1/3. We have to keep change flip. So when you divide something by 2, you're multiplying it by a half. And then I have, now, so I'm going to have negative 1/3 times a half. Are we okay with that?
Wait, why are you doing that? Because you divide it and then
Okay.
you switch it.
Negative 4/6 divided by.
Okay. Negative 4/6. Can you reduce negative 4/6?
Yeah, negative.
Negative 2/3.
Miss Gates, what's your reasoning for multiplying?
Well, I need to simplify the answer.
What do you mean?
What okay, this is not simplified at all. You can't have a fraction within a fraction. So I need to be able to make it one thing. So like I need to be able, so when I divide by 2, we're going to do this for all of them. Anytime you divide by 2, we're going to end up multiplying by a half. Okay. From here, almost. We're almost done with this one. So negative 1/6.
That one negative 2/3.
Because 4/6 is the same thing as negative 2/3.
Negative 4/6 is the same thing.
Yeah. Okay, what happens with the 2's here? What happens with these 2? They cancel each other out?
But those are two different numbers. How are they the same thing?
No, they're the same.
4/6 is the same as 2/3.
Yeah. Sorry, here.
Because you divided by 2.
That's it, right?
Oh.
Ooh.
Wait, is that how you keep it?
Hold on.
Wait, it's like glitching.
Yeah, I see it. It's glitching. I don't know why this is here. Okay, question?
Wait, where is the
Problems do we
thing?
have like this one?
Right here's the answer. Why does it keep doing this?
How many questions like this do we have?
4.
Okay.
I'm not doing